Hey everybody. Um, so I had some, they were pretty disturbing dreams. I mean, they weren't really like nightmares, as the traditional meaning of the word nightmare often depicts. Like there wasn't monsters chasing me or anything like that. But it had to do with just this rejection thing. It kind of reminded me of when I went to school, and I was athletic, so I did cross country and I played soccer when I was younger. So I kind of knew the jocks, but I never. A part of me always wanted to be a part of their clique because I was jealous because they always got the best seats in the cafeteria and they always got the hottest chicks and everybody seemed to want to be them and like them. Even though a lot of the times, most of them, not all of them, but most of them seemed to be, dicks. But because they always got the girls and they got all the attention and they got the best seats in the class, a part of me always wanted to just be a part of that, to get that type of attention, I guess. It's not healthy. It's not a healthy thing. But as a child growing up, as a teenager, this is just how I felt. Um, and so, because I was kind of athletic, though, I would do some sports with certain jocks. And for whatever reason, certain jocks just had this thing out against me. And they always liked to make fun of me and bully me and do silly, stupid shit like that. Um, and then they would always get like, I had crushes on girls in school, and then like these jocks would be the dudes who ended up being with them. So it's kind of been this thing going on in my life for a while, but I haven't been to school in a while, so I really haven't paid much attention to it. Um, so that's why it was strange. Where it was like that situation, that scenario, played out in my dreams last night, and then it was me watching this scene unfold, and how, because I was too scared to do anything, the girl of my dreams ended up being with one of these jock dudes. And I was left with this miserable feeling of, for one, me not stepping up to the plate and letting fear control me, and two, not being with the girl that I really wanted to be with. And it was a pretty vivid dream. I mean, I got really into it. I was asleep for like 12 hours, maybe even more. So it was a long slumber. And I awoke with that feeling. And so, it initially it took me a little bit to kind of reprogram myself back to where I'm at here, and assure myself that things aren't. It was the type of feeling you wake up and you're just like, man, I just don't even want to be here no more. But as you wake up, as you get your coffee, as you walk around, as you do what you do every morning, I start to just feel a little bit better, and I did. And I was so affected by this dream, though, that I almost felt. I mean, I didn't almost. I did feel a desire to try to speak up a little bit more. But as things go on, I continue to think about the situation. I go back to where I've been, and I feel like it hasn't just been the fear. A lot of it has been because my mental faculties literally have not been at a very good level of capability. It's been the time when I chose to talk more in the past, like a year ago. I was in a much better state of just thinking, of speech, of just being able to talk. I didn't have, like, now I have a challenge. Like when it comes to speaking and stuff, it's a lot more difficult for me than it was like a year ago. And I think a lot of that's because it's from two things. One, because I've done a lot of drugs, and two, because I've chosen to just not socialize with people for a long time. Because I haven't even been talking to friends, so I really haven't been talking to anybody for a long time. And so these two things, and because the herbs, they help, keep me complacent when I'm alone. I just continue using the herbs, and I develop this solitary existence to where I'm just doing things with me, myself, and I. And because I get so used to that, it makes talking with anybody extremely challenging. And then because I have destroyed so many relationships in my past, part of me feels like, that's just I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like maybe it's better just to be alone, you know. But another part of me is always optimistic, and it was like, oh, well, things are always changing. There's always opportunities. Like, you can choose to try and continue to fight for love and relationships and these things, or I can choose to just, to not fight for them and to let them go and to just live a solitary existence. But that's not what I really want. Everything I'm talking about is us coming together. So I know it's not what I want. The only question is, I don't know. I don't know what the question. I'll say this too. A lot of the reason why I feel the way I do is because it's like I've seen this particular person I'm talking about. I've seen how she interacts with other men, and from what I've observed, she has no problem reaching out and contacting them. So, it's like if I've seen you do it to these other dudes who you like, and why can't you do it to me? If you really like me or you have interest or whatever it is, you just want to talk to me, why can't you just be honest with your feeling? This whole thing's been centered around me essentially going to her YouTube channel and interacting with her in her arena. And, it's like, well, when's she going to step out of her own comfort zones? And I get it too. When you're on your channel, that's your little throne, that's your little kingdom or whatever you want to call it, where you can control things and you have your viewers who you're comfortable with and you feel secure with them. But it also keeps you complacent. It keeps you fucking doing the same thing kind of over and over again because you have all the same elements of that ritual playing over every day the same way, essentially. So, that's just another part of me feels like, well, it feels like she can't be real with herself. Like, I know the reasons why I'm not choosing to communicate. It's not because I don't care or that I don't want to. It's just literally I don't feel all that adequate with the tools that I have right now to speak with somebody. And this person that I'm speaking of, she hasn't shown the most when things don't appease her, it seems like she has a tendency to walk away rather quickly. And I don't know if that's the healthiest energy for me to be around right now, because I am, still every day struggling with, some serious self-destruction issues. And I've also got a tendency to indulge those issues when I feel hurt or when people don't like me or things don't go my way. And, so for me, like, my perspective, like, the healthiest relationship I could have is probably somebody who's going to want to be a little bit more patient with my recovery and with me learning to not destroy myself all the time and to help me out and to not just want to be there when I'm doing good and looking good and feeling good, but also wants to be there when I'm down, and also has the integrity or just the ability to reach out and, say something to somebody. She used to leave comments on my channel. She hasn't done that in a very long time. So, and I've already said how the last time, like, I tried to make videos those months ago when she was trying to connect with me, and YouTube wouldn't let me upload the videos. So it's not like I completely just neglected her. I was literally made unable to upload. Now, I could have tried a different means of communication. I could have, and I didn't. So I'm not saying I did everything I could to contact her, but I did try through YouTube to send her those messages. And I also knew then and there that she knew that I was having serious addiction problems. And it's like, when somebody's like that, when they're being forthcoming with a huge hurdle they have in front of themselves, and it's a hurdle that they've confessed, keeps them from wanting to talk to others more and makes them doubt things. Like, that's where, from my perspective, if I was in a stronger state, I would want to reach out to that person whom I'm, interested in and try to help them out, try to uplift them in somehow, try to say, hey, I hope you can figure this shit out if you need somebody to talk to, even just from a humanitarian perspective, to try to help a human being along. Especially if that human being has talked about how they look up to certain people in a certain way, that gives you an influence over a particular person. And I don't know. See, I go back and forth. I go back and forth between beating myself up because I haven't done enough, and then I go back to feeling justified because, you know, I feel like I'm kind of standing up for myself for once, you know. And again, it's not that I don't want to talk. I'm just now starting to feel more comfortable with my speech. Thoughts are coming a little bit quicker, but it's still not completely there. Like, if I continue the way I'm doing, maybe in a couple weeks I'll be there. But I mean, I've just now finished my first week at the gym, so I'm still very much in a recovery state and getting my strength back and my testosterone and all these things. So, again, in order for things to work out well, you know, it'd be nice if I could have the highest or a high percentage of just getting shit done, you know. So if I can wait a little bit longer and get my strength up, I'm going to have even more of a chance of succeeding, you know. Because, again, as I've said, I don't know how I'd handle another, just, you know, I mean, nothing's really a failure, but, you know, but essentially a failure or a rejection or just another negative experience or a situation where things didn't work out with another human being. Like, I've had so many of those in my life. It's just, you know, it hurts. And then the more they keep happening, like, yeah, it still hurts. It continues to hurt. And then you start to think that maybe you should just be on your own, since nobody else really cares to want to be with you or reach out to you or talk to you, or at least they don't, for whatever reason. They may have feel it inside, but because they're worried about what other people think or look or whatever, they're going to choose to not say anything. But then it's like, should I choose to care about them when they can't even be open with how they feel about me? I don't know. I feel a little mixed up today, but that's just where I'm at. So I want to share that with you guys. And all right, hope you all have a good day. Bye.